Hey y'all, it's Pastor Billy, and we are rocking through the Being Challenge. It's bright and early, and we are on day 10 of the Being Challenge, and day 10 really emphasizes community in a digital world. Just a reminder, this whole week has been about commit to community, one of the keystone habits that Jesus modeled in his life. And so we're looking at what it would look like to model that same commitment to community that Jesus had. And he did it in different ways. He had different sizes of groups that he specifically focused on. And today we're realizing that there's a group that we have to assess and focus on that Jesus didn't have to assess and focus on, at least in the same way today. And that's because there's a digital presence that we deal with. There are devices in our lives that we actually seem to have relationships with. And it's important then for us to acknowledge that while technology has done so much to minimize the distance between us and the impact of it, in some cases it has also replaced for us real genuine relationships with people face to face in our lives. Now obviously we're in a time too where in a pandemic like the one we're experiencing now, we've also lost the largest settings for us to experience relationship, which we oftentimes also leaned into as a crutch, where we only were participating in these larger gatherings of community and wondering why we didn't feel like we had deeper, meaningful relationships in our life. And so today we're really actually focusing on the fact that whether digitally or in person, larger gatherings with shallow relational connections are not going to actually give us a sense that we are connected and committed to a deeper community. And so what this is really emphasizes is something that's become a growing passion in me, and that's that the best environment for us to experience spiritual growth and meaningful relationships is a smaller environment of brothers and sisters in Christ gathered together on a regular basis to have faith conversations. And a lot of different places call those different things small groups. Right now we've got Being Challenge huddles, which is kind of a season of doing small group life together. And as you read into this challenge today, there's two things that I think stand out that Pastor Zach points out. And number one is simply that the presence of our digital ability to use Facetime, to use Zoom during kind of emergency moments is a blessing. But the presence of those things in our everyday life, when we don't actually need them, can lead to us feeling isolated, alone, depressed, and disconnected, ironically, because of the very things that keep us connected. So today I'm going to do a screen time evaluation. That's the challenge of the day, and then assess, am I really too busy to enter into a small group journey with people for the next season of life, so that we could grow together in relationship and also in faith together. I think I'm going to find, I think I know what I'm going to find, that I have enough screen time that I could give up that would allow me to have time for people. And right now, during a time whenever we can't as easily gather in large groups, it's becoming more and more essential for us to intentionally set up that small group of people that we connect our lives to, and that we trust each other to make wise decisions and keep each other safe while we gather, but also so that maybe these can be relationships and environments that last way longer than a pandemic, and are things that God would use to powerfully change our lives and the lives of the people that we gather with. So I'm praying into your time, evaluating your screen time, evaluating how much time you think you're busy, too busy to be in a small group with other people gathered around Christ. and just see what God does with that, what he shows you, and then what he shows me about maybe what I can give up from my device that would give me more time to be in relationship with brothers and sisters in Christ face to face. I pray God's deepest blessings on your evaluation of that for you, and can't wait to see what he does with all of the time that we all have to use for relationship and community. God's peace to you today.